Hello, everybody. Back again with number 404 here. So far, we have Leonardo, we have Raphael, everybody sliding down the table, and we have Michelangelo yesterday, which has not been linked up with some ink and color yet, just because of the fact that I wanted to finish this one first. Then we have Donatello. So we have everything linked up here. This is going to be 404 for these. Um, Now, just to let you guys know, I'm in a really cool mood today. I'm just relaxed and having a blast. I almost did Lab Coat Donatello. Just to let you know, you almost got that one as a bonus. Almost. But we're going to do the standard bow staff toting Donatello in just a second here. Just going to let a couple people know that this thing is live so that we can get started. And there we go. Okay. This is one of the more dynamic turtles as far as the characters go. This guy has normally gotten himself strapped to some kind of scientific technological gadget of some sort. But in this case, he's going full on ninja mode here, as it were, and going to make him have a really cool fighting stance here. Here's the bow staff coming across this way. There's the shell back there, as you can obviously see that one. Down here, we're going to have most of this covered with his arm, but that's his leg down on one knee. There's his little nubby toes. And you got the other foot back there. So I don't know if you guys can see all of this yet. Of course, it's so lightly sketched. I don't know if it translates or not, but that's the whole point. If you could see it all, it would be done. So, and bear with me, I am in a very outgoing mood, which I don't normally put on camera for you guys. I am having a blast today, hanging out and taking care of business. One of my company websites goes back up today after a long pending revamp of everything, because I rebranded and remodeled everything for my consulting business to move into branding my own stuff instead of branding all my clients and stuff, just strictly clientele. I wanted to move into getting my own stuff out there and showing everybody stuff. So all that's taken off, and not going into a sales pitch or anything crazy like that, just doing my normal card here. I'm just really excited to get it back out there. So, got Donatello hiding out here. Going to put a little evil grin on him. Now, he has more of it's a snubbed nose rather than a lot of the other turtles where they have the big round beaks, the bulbous beaks. He's got more of a Muppet or a Fraggle Rock type of look. If you don't know who those characters are, you'll have to check them out. But because Jim Henson Studios did most of the puppetry on the original films, they have that look. And I just wanted to represent that in a higher level, because Donatello has a more gangly neck. He's almost like an old Galapagos type of tortoise. And it's not necessarily, he's a bigger turtle, but he has this long gangly neck. And it's not the typical run-of-the-mill pet turtle type. But there's a lot of cool characteristics to this guy that a lot of the other turtles don't have. I mean, granted, he's got the whole shell thing going on and, whatnot, but it's not the same. It's just not. He is a cool character within himself, and has a lot more to offer aesthetically than the other turtles. I mean, even over and above his technology carrying stuff, the dude's just phenomenal as far as a character goes. I'm talking about him like he's real, but hey, you mean they're not real? But anyway, yeah, this is where we're going today. This guy is the best for drawing because he has the most characteristics, like I said, and not to mention the fact that he has the most textures in his costume that other characters don't. If you draw this character and you want to learn, or any character for that matter, if you want to learn how to draw stuff way easier than you would any other way, draw a character that's got a lot of different textures going on, that uses wooden weapons or metallic armor, that kind of thing. Get that all going on, because then what will end up happening is you'll have all these great features and cool details to play with, which a lot of people don't normally get to use. And this wood has a lot of rings in it, so we're going to bring in a lot of that. It's got a little wood damage there where he's cracked some foot guys, and going to detail that out a little bit, make that an offshoot shadow kind of thing. This dude's just got a lot going on. I'm going to leave this very simple as far as this nose goes, because I don't want to mess with that too much. But what I am going to do is pull this mask in and go ahead and put in the seams for the eyes where they sew them together, and where they buckle back for the nose a little bit, and just make it pop off a little bit more. Since he is looking down so much, I'm going to kind of, round that out to where it's over that nose just a little more. But yeah, for the most part, this guy is very, very cool as far as the differential standards for the turtles, one by one. And a lot of artists would be looking at me going, hey man, why didn't you highlight that? Why'd you darken that out? Well, it's because I want it to look like a darker fabric, like the other ninjas we're dealing with have. And it makes it look really cool because it makes him look menacing. Pop out a little more lead there. I love these pencils. However, if you use these graph gear, they are awesome, because this is a Full Metal Gear pencil in here, except for the rubber washers. Now they have a plastic filled one that's plastic, and I think it's some kind of vinyl filler inside there. They're cheaper, but they still work as well, and they're made by the same company. But these, I'm not going to take it apart because I don't want it to get messed up with the calibration of the balance for the pencil. But one of these fell off the desk last night and stabbed into my tile floor. So these are good heavy pencils. If you use them, I highly recommend them. But if you use them, keep your feet out from under the desk, or be sure and wear shoes while you do, because if one of these things stabs into your foot, that's a good, that's a good half, or maybe even a little less than that, of an inch there, and that sucker it'll put a poke hole in your leg. Just a little graph gear safety there, because I was like, man, if I'd have been barefooted, that would have hurt. So just looking out, do it at your own risk, you know what I mean? So okay, getting that shoulder and that neck muscle and that back right there in the back, but this is going to be blacked out, so it's not going to matter. All right, get my big knuckles out of the way so you guys can see the card. We want to let you draw. We don't want to see the back of your hand. So yeah, I'll get out of the way there. I'm sorry. let's see here. Got this going on. I got asked yesterday about the art course that I'm doing, and yes, it still is. Thank you very much. It's still going on, so you guys have that going. But I am kicking that out now that my first couple of sites are done. My first couple of projects in the company are done. I'm going to get back into filming some stuff, and you guys will be able to see a lot more of that lately. Probably in the next week or so. We're going to go from there with that. How do I want to do that? We'll make it go this way. That was a live adjustment. I originally was going to have the hand go underneath, and that's the way I'm going to do it now. I just didn't want it to clash with his chin here too much, because it landed on the same line, and I didn't realize that when I sketched it out. Shame on me, right? So we have these big old nubby turtle hands. There's the end of that finger. Block that off just a little bit to show underneath his neck and cut that down. There we go. Now we have that arm, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in and cut this before I put in this other finger. I'm going to cut back this armband. See, that's the cool thing about doing a drawing, you know, don't get so uptight that you can't enjoy it, because what ends up happening is you wind up just losing your marbles. Don't do that. Don't try to make it perfect, just try to produce it. That's the cool part. And the reason I've got this band going is because I'm going to put this chunk right here. And I'm going to go right across. That way it doesn't come out too strange. Because it's got this development stuff, and I'm making these really sketchy here. So, yeah, he's coming along all right. I'm making him kind of have that crunched brow business like Michelangelo had yesterday, with the mischievous look rather than the grimace. Because like Michelangelo, he's really lighthearted. He's a lot more serious when he fights, but when he goes into a fight, it's more attitudinal rather than emotional. So there's a difference. It's a great character. So, all right, I'm gonna cut across this top here. Cut across the old knee pad there, and this one's segments, so you have to do this kind of thing with it, because this knee pad bows back, so you got to show where that ridge is going and down into that striping, and then you'll have to bubble that out like that and come back up with it. Now the reason you do that is because these are a hybrid between a sports pad and a martial arts style pad, so you have to go this way because they're homemade's what it is. And they tend to be a little strange in the way that they hit the ground. All right, we're going to level that side off, and I'm going to level this one up just a little bit, just to add a little depth to it. I'm going to put a little bit of a shadow outline right here. I don't normally do this with the cards because I don't have them sit on a surface, but in this case, I'm going to have this one round out. I'm going to kind of scribble fill this in right now, but I'll ink this out proper when it's done. I just don't want to fill the whole thing in and get in the way. All right, I'm going to put the big old Ninja Turtle toenail right there. And that one in that gap right there. So we'll have it. Big old toe knuckles. All right. Round that out. Now this is going to be, he's going heel to toe here. So this one is going to go up like this and make the top of the foot. And there we have it right there. Boom. Done deal. We're going to go back here. And I'm not sure if, I'm going to go ahead and do an ankle because I think Donatello is one of the two that doesn't wear the ankle. He doesn't wear the ankle wraps. I know two of them do and two of them don't. In the cartoon, none of them did, but in the comics and in the later stuff, two of them actually wrap their ankles. Let's see here. Knuckle. Give some weight to that. There we go. Now, we got that going right there. I know it doesn't look like it yet, but it's going to look like a finger in just a second. Shade that out from the underside of this. And then we got to go in and do this ribbon in just a second too. This lashing here. There we go. Now, right here, the reason I left this open is because right here is the tip of the thumb. Most people would like to draw them up across here with a big, gnarly finger and whatnot. I like to put the thumb like that because when you hold a quarterstaff, I don't know if you know this or not, but he's holding it tight by the end anyway. But the thing is, most people, when they hold a quarterstaff, they actually tip their thumb down and fold it. And that's what he's doing back there. That's why you see the edge of the thumbnail, and you see the thumb that way. This is a fun one for me. Rock that gnarly knuckle. Now, the reason I'm going with this gnarly look is because of the fact that Donatello burnt his hands a couple of times in some of the comic stories, and that's the reason I did that. It's just kind of a scar, and I was gonna, mesh it up a little bit, like he'd been cut across that knuckle kind of thing, or scarred, or whatever you want to call it. But I like adding little character traits like that because you won't get that a lot in some of the newer stuff. Okay, I'm going to put this lashing for this pad right here. Lash it up there. And before I do that, the lashing on this, I'm going to go ahead and put in this ankle. And put in this other toe. That way we have that. Now, I'm going to go right in here and put in the turtle chest plate so I can mark that off before I put in that lashing. And now that I have that, I'll go in here and put this in real quick so I don't forget it. Because what will end up happening is I'll get sidetracked and then I'll end up forgetting that and it won't be there. You guys will be like, haha, you forgot the lashing. So I don't want to have that. Okay. Now with this one, I'm going to come out here behind and put in that under shadow right there. That way he has the shadow on both feet and has, doesn't look weird. Why is he only got a shadow on one side? I could just see that happening. Me messing around and forgetting it. But anyway, okay. We have now the large shell back of Donatello. And right in here is where I think that's about where I'm going to put. Yeah, okay. We're going to put in his shoulder. So we'll pop in a delt. And we'll pop in the other one. Okay. And I'm going to heavy line this because these guys are thick. That's one cool thing about the turtle skin. You can definitely tell because they're thick guys. Now that shell's going to tip back into infinity, so I'm going to push it back right there. If you guys see me hesitating just a second, it's because I'm checking my camera because I want to make sure, one, Facebook doesn't drop me, and two, that you guys can see what I'm doing without any problem. It's like, stay on camera, man. So, sorry. Now he's, like I said, he's got kind of a more of a tortoise action going on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this solid on the edge, and then I'm going to spot it like this. Because Donatello is a little different. Okay? And each of the brothers has a different shell type, but he has, like I said, it's like an old saddleback type of turtle shell, where it's not necessarily, a true saddleback where he has the ribbing and whatnot, the elevated neck, but it's more like those old sea turtle types. The one that gets really big and really old. And those Galapagos turtles do that quite a bit. We have some great ones here at our Metro Zoo, and we go see them as often as we can. Try to do it a couple times a month, about every other week or so. Okay, mapping that in. Yeah, that looks right. Cool. And instead of the big spots like the other couple of turtles do have, he's got these round, almost oval shaped kind of things going on. I'll put a couple of those on him. Just kind of giving him a little more characteristics, unique characteristics, that is. And let's see, a few more characteristics here are that Donatello normally has his tech on him. In this case, I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to skip that because I don't want to make it look out of place now. Because we are in full ninja mode right now. Trying to think of anything else I want to add to him before I finish this thing up. Because I'm going to color these here shortly, I don't want to have a lot of interference with them. Because as with the classic animation stuff, let me see, bear with me a second. Because with the classic animation stuff, we'll go towards the outside of the forearm, so we're going to want to go this way with that. I want to keep them very clean. There we go. I'm going to draw in that front delt there and kind of crop that out a little bit to help pop it off. Give him a little more edge. Shade in the shadow of that leg. Oh, almost skipped a major detail there. The outside of the knee wrap. Okay. Now, you guys can see that we've got the skin texture coming on. We've got the bow texture and the shell. And I have to ridge that out like I always do. And I think that was one of the original artists. I don't know if Eastman did that or not, but I don't know if those guys did that. But every turtle seems to have this different trait with their shell. And then it always goes back to this. That's one of the genetic things that I always see in doing the case study for characters like this, is they all have this little one minor trait that just sticks out prominently on each of them, other than just the typical fact that they're turtles all the way around, you know. Put a spot back there, just on that back. That back deltoid, so we can see that. And then just to pop it off of the shell, I'll put a little bit of a refining edge right there to make that look like it's in a little more shadow, because the angle we should be. So, pop in the back of that tricep right there, make that muscle out a little more. Okay, now I'm going to take this down a little further, and I'm going to put a couple of these on Donatello's leg, because I want to make it prominent that he has these marks on him. There's the foot, the knee, the thigh. There we go, right there. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and shade out the shadow just a little bit. Keep that straight with what I'm doing. Hard line back there. Now we have all 4 of your Ninja Turtles. This way you guys can see all of them together. We have Leonardo, Raphael, which I need to finish, Michelangelo, and Donatello. Okay. There we go. All 4 Ninja Turtles for you guys. I hope you dig these. Tomorrow, being Friday, is coming up with more superheroes coming back, and I'm going to be doing Hawkman from DC Comics. So you have that to look forward to. I hope you'll join me. We also have some really cool stuff coming up on the new fan page. Like I said, with card number 100, I will be switching over. Now, I appreciate you guys coming out, checking this stuff out. Please spread the word and help me let everybody know that this is coming up so they don't miss out on anything. Because they get asked all the time, hey, man, I saw my buddy had your da-da-da-da card, and I would really like to get a hold of one. And, well, then share the word so we can find out who wants these things. I appreciate it. Talk to you next time.